Nathaniel and I, we invested in the mask, in the saws. Like
Nice.
our saws, our golden chainsaw is like $4,000, and we have two of them
Jeez.
now. So, and we have 12 chainsaws now. So it's larger than life, the gimmick, and you gotta live up the gimmick.
Right.
So it was more so the theater background was with the Black Dahlia gimmick. So I've been the Black Dahlia since I was a valet, and I
Mm.
became a chainsaw queen when I became a wrestler. So the more theater background was a play on with the gimmick name, the Black Dahlia. I was the first Black Dahlia in professional wrestling. It was 2011. I was 18 years old. I didn't want to get stuck with the cliche sugar tits and rainbow stripper name. You know what I mean? Like you got to think
Right.
2011. It was a different time period. It was before the women's revolution, and don't get me wrong, sex sells. I love it. There's a part for it. But not everyone needs to be the push-up bra blonde. We got to have this buff person, whereas we got to have the guy that does the porn stash and seduces all the ladies. There's room for the sexual gimmicks, but at the time, as an 18, 19-year-old kid, I was just like, I'm an actor. I want to do something. And where I'm such a horror fan and I love Halloween, I went to the more morbid side and I chose Elizabeth Short's murder, the Black Dahlia.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
so she was an actress, tragic
yes.
unsolved murder. Like I was like, you won't put a stripper's name on me, gosh darn it! I'll be a murder victim. Yeah, you could see my child mind just playing out as I say that.
How has nobody else done it? Because I know
uh,
I
well,
mean,
there was
there's the movie. Go ahead.
well, okay, yeah, no worries. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So,
You're good.
so I've been the Black Dahlia. I was the first ever, but I think like for like
Mm.
1 year, maybe one girl in England or something tried to do the Black Dahlia gimmicks in like 2016, 17, but then she stepped away. But yeah, I was the first ever, and as far as I'm concerned, the only one. And
Nice.
she and what I pay homage to Elizabeth because she was a very real person and she was a young woman that was tragically fucking slaughtered, and
Yep.
it's disgusting what happened to her. But when I lived out in LA, I actually found the spot where her body was found and I like laid there and took photos. It was like completely cool, I guess. Like I don't
Well,
know, maybe that's weird.
no, what was the energy like?
Um I felt connected with her, and I had a little anxiety because it wasn't a park anymore and it was someone's front yard. So I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, trespassing.
They
Fuck.
built a
Get the
home
photo.
there?
It's a subdivision.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Subdivision, bro. I'll show you the photos. I'll send them to
Okay,
you.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. Well, I mean, you got to think she was just a young girl
Right.
and she just wanted to be an actress. Unfortunately, she was quoted by saying, "I'll do anything to be famous," and everyone is typecasted her as a whore or a
Right.
slut, and it's like it's not fair. What I think happened to her was she was just a young woman that got with the wrong people, and they
Hmm.
fucking killed her.
Hmm.
It's not fair what happened to her. There was no justice. It's still an unsolved murder to this day. There's suspicions it was that doctor or whatever, but it still is unsolved. There was no justice, and it's just like the gruesomeness of it, like her body being sawed in half, her being found nude, her breasts slit, her nipples like ripped off, her face slit to a permanent smile. That's not the fucking Joker smile. That was the Black Dahlia, and it just so morbid and so fascinating at the same time. So of course, I felt like I'd be more taken seriously as a wrestler, I guess, if I was a murder victim. I don't know. And someone pointed out the other day, for the first time in 13 years of being the Black Dahlia, someone pointed out everyone goes for the serial killer, everyone goes for the murderer, no one goes for the victim. And I'm like, oh my god, how tragic.
So yeah, her story is so tragic, and I mean, it's a
Yeah.
story as old as time too. There's so many other Black Dahlia type murders that will never get solved, or
And no
no
one knew of
justice.
it. When
Oh,
I got
exactly.
involved with wrestling, up until just recently, I swear to goodness, no one, I would have to explain to everyone in detail about the Black Dahlia.
Huh.
People to this day call me Delilah or Delula, or like no one, uh, Darla. And it's like, oh my God, guys, Dahlia, it's a
Yeah,
flower. Come on.
not a hard process.
Well, I'm dyslexic as fuck and I can still figure it out. So, I mean, like, but yeah, so I would always have to explain it to no one knew of the Black Dahlia murder, and then now it's kind of refreshing because more and more people actually know of her, and I do correct people on the thought process of her just being a slut or a whore
Right.
or
As you should.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, 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 no. She got with the wrong crowd, and I
Uh-huh.
have my theories of what happened to her, and then you guys can fuck off. We don't like she was a fucking child. She was killed. She was a 22-year-old kid that was slaughtered. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's my passion towards that. But how I branched off into the Chainsaw Queen, that was a lot to do with out at Rikishi's and with my partner Nathaniel. We basically brainstormed out there because Rikishi was big on character and gimmick,
Mhm.
obviously. And
As you should.
so um when we came up with a Leatherface style gimmick, we wanted to be different than everyone else because there's a lot of people with respect. There's a lot of people that do the chainsaw gimmick, whether it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre gimmick and they're over in Japan doing it, and all the different legends that have done it before us, like,
Mhm.
or if they're not doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre gimmick, they're doing I'm just carrying chainsaws, or there's people that do Ed Gein gimmicks with the human flesh, and which inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they just don't do the whole shtick. Like there's people that straight up go off of Amazon and just do, oh, I got a Halloween costume of the movie, and they're doing Leatherface style gimmicks, and that's all cool, but it's all been done before. So
Mhm.
so it was like 2016, and Nathaniel and I were out in LA and we're brainstorming, and Nathaniel was a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, and so am I. So we're like, we want to incorporate this but have it original. So me as a female in general was the first ever woman to carry a chainsaw to the ring. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
And yeah, yeah. So 2016, I'm the first ever female in professional wrestling to be not only the chainsaw queen, but to carry a chainsaw. So that's
Congratulations.
thank you, making history. It's pretty cool. Um, but besides that, to make it original, we became the Urban Legend Hunters. So it is a play on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Ed Gein, yes, but it's we're Urban Legend Hunters. So our whole gear is human flesh, but those are, oh, we heard of serial killers, we heard of these urban legends, we went down and hunted them, and that's the human flesh that we have, like the mask and the vest, right?
That's cool. That's a nice little spin on that.
But it gets further.
Okay.
Oh, we heard of the urban legend of this alien spaceship crashed. So we actually have alien flesh and mass, just like our human flesh and mass in the
Oh,
vest. So we have human, we have alien, we have Bigfoot,
there you
we
go.
have all the cryptids. We have Bigfoot, we have let's see, we're doing Wendigos, we have Mothman that's been made. So we're going through all the cryptozoology, so it also makes us the first ever cryptozoology gimmick in professional wrestling.
How much fun are you having with just learning about all these?
Well, it's kind of so like I said, that was in 2016 when we invented this, but it's kind of it's the old saying of it's a work, but also stick to realism and shoot. So like I am a morbid curiosity person that's into unsolved murders. Okay, Black Dahlia. I love Halloween and all that shit. Texas Massacre, one of my favorite films. All right, let's do that gimmick, but we'll make it original. Oh, I love how funny would it be if Leatherface went down and was a vigilante and was hunting down all these urban legends. I love cryptozoology. I know Bigfoot's real. I know aliens are real. How funny would it be if I went down and hunted these gimmicks? Oh, awesome. Well, it's a play on reality because whenever I go to all these different wrestling shows, I Google what's popular at these places. And say I'm in Kentucky, well, there's the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and it's one of the most haunted places in America, let alone the world. So I'll go after wrestling that night. I'll go ghost hunting in that sanatorium. Or I last summer I had to go out to Arizona, and on the way I passed through Roswell, New Mexico, and I dead ass went through all the alien museums, and I was like, so it's actually a play on reality. I love this shit.
So, do you know about the chupacabra?
Yeah, it's gonna be one
Mhm.
of you can tell me what you know about it, but it's on the list of the cryptids we're hunting down as well.
It is a Texas legend, and it's like a evil jackalope for the most part, I think. Yeah.
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 Yeah, they
So
like drain the blood of the chickens
that's
and
right.
shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that it's actually proven to be it's real? Like they found
Oh
them.
yeah. I think people have had like well, their little cameras in like trail cameras, and they've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathaniel said there's Dog Man as well.
What is a dog man? It's like a wolf
Uh,
man?
Nathaniel, tell him about Dog Man.
No, no, there's a dog version of the chupacabra, the giant lizard version.
He said there's a giant lizard version of the chupacabra as well, and a
Oh,
dog version.
I'm gonna look into
See,
this.
we're into this shit. We okay. So there's like a werewolf, but then there's also the Dog Man. Oh, like, hey, what part of Texas are you in?
I'm in North Texas, the DFW area.
Oh, you're in the North Texas, Nathaniel. What's in Northern Texas besides the Goatman Bridge? That's in Dallas. What'd you think of all those cows like getting burnt?
Um, it is interesting. I don't know.
Tragic, right? Or
Yeah.
was that like,
Well,
yeah?
we also have a giant hog problem in Texas that need to get solved. But
Oh
yeah,
wait, were they not cows? Was it pigs?
no, I'm just saying we also have a giant like the pig population is wild pigs are taking over
What's
Texas.
the conspiracy theory? Tell me, was that like intentional?
I'm pretty sure someone dropped them somewhere, like the same way certain animals
Mm,
get and take over a state. So maybe,
yeah.
but
I love conspiracy theories. I love the idea of the Illuminati and all that
yes.
shit.
Well, I don't call there's a different way of thinking is the way I always think about it because like conspiracy theory now has like this weird connotation, like it has its own weird connotation to it. So I like to
Well,
think
I mean,
other ways
some
of thinking.
people make it okay. Well, but there's prove to me it's not wrong. It's wrong, or prove to me it doesn't exist, or whatever. You know,
Right.
like I'm open
Yes.
minded. I'm open minded, and I know there's two sides to every story, and I just want to hear it all.
Exactly. And also as you learn different things in life, whatever you believe, sometimes changes because you find out other things. You're like, ah, damn, guess I was wrong
Oh
for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah, 1,000%. I think people should just need to be more open minded and because
Yes.
I don't know. I definitely believe there are creatures out there. There has to be.
There
Like
has to
of
be.
course some people fake it, obviously. Some people want attention, some people want money or whatever, but there it just takes one of them to be the truth.
Exactly.
Ooh, spooky. I love it.
So what are some horror movies that you kind of inspired some of, whatever evolution of the character that you kind of have been going with?
Nice. I always refer to my childhood where I watched TCM, and every Sunday they would have like Turner class. They would have the silent films,
Hmm.
and a lot of the films I loved Halloween as well. Like during the if I haven't said that 5 times already, but during October, like they would have all the different spooky films,
Yeah.
and I would have to say from the early stage, like the silent films into the let's see, the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s monsters. Like I loved Nosferatu's.
Yeah.
I loved Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Um hmm. I don't know. I always loved the vampires. So think how Dahlia portrayed an evil version of Miss Elizabeth. I definitely feel like the vampire films really, really helped with that, but also the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde always stuck out to me because I loved that gimmick, and then you can also mix that with like a Harley Quinn, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And so when I brought out the scary Sherry side in my gimmick, it was more like that, more like a Harley Quinn, more like, okay, now you're getting Mr. Hyde.
That's so cool. Yeah, the same way like Mankind or Mick Foley was for Mankind's was so inspired by Silence of the Lambs, and obviously the Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
Nice.
Hyde as well with what we've seen with Bray Wyatt. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I love method acting, and I love the more schizophrenic multi-personality
Mhm.
play on a gimmick.
Yeah, I think that I think we need more crazy in pro wrestling, but I guess it wouldn't be as special because everyone would just be crazy.
I love when everyone's different.